Hello and a warm welcome to South Asia Today, where we bring you in-depth insights into the key events shaping South Asia. I'm Shivangi Mishra, and are today's top stories. Davos spotlight on India's growth and global confidence. Tokyo Fire Department showcases latest equipment at New Year's Fire Review. And citizens of Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir struggle amid failed governance. Let's begin the show. As global markets grapple with uncertainty, India stands out at Davos for its steady growth, reform-driven momentum, and policy stability. With rising investor confidence and deepening India-US economic ties, India is emerging as a key engine of global growth and a top destination for long-term strategic investment. Take a look. As world leaders and business titans gathered at the World Economic Forum in Davos, India's reform-driven growth took center stage, underscoring its position as one of the fastest-growing and most resilient major economies. Investors highlighted how landmark reforms from labor codes and GST simplification to energy transformation and opening nuclear energy to private participation have strengthened economic fundamentals and boosted confidence. Echoing this optimism, US President Donald Trump expressed confidence in the proposed India-US trade deal, saying the two nations are going to have a good deal while praising Prime Minister Narendra Modi as a trusted friend and global leader. Experts noted that the India-US partnership now goes beyond trade, encompassing technology, investment, and people-to-people ties.
It's a complex environment, and I think both countries are talking to find a way to take the trade discussion forward. But I have to remind that the relationship between India and the US is not just about trade. It's much more broader. It's on people to people, it's on technology, it's on business investment between two countries. So I would say trade is one aspect, but I think if we can sort that out, it's going to get much more smoother.
Amid strong global interest, India is poised to become the world's third largest economy, powered by sustained growth and deep structural reforms. At the World Economic Forum, India also outlined its AI vision focused on scale, economic viability, and strong techno-legal frameworks to ensure responsible, inclusive, and trusted innovation.
भारत को आज सारी दुनिया में एक ट्रस्टेड वैल्यू चेन पार्टनर की तरह देखा जा रहा है। इस टर्ब्यूलेंट बहुत मुश्किल एनवायरनमेंट में सारे विश्व में जहां पर अनसर्टेनिटी है, वैसे में भारत को एक बहुत ही स्टेबल, अच्छी डेमोक्रेसी, वाइब्रेंट डेमोक्रेसी और एक सस्टेन्ड वे में ग्रोथ वाली इकोनॉमी के तरीके से देखा जा रहा है।
Industry leaders and global investors at Davos said India is increasingly seen as an attractive destination across both traditional and emerging sectors. From manufacturing and infrastructure to renewables, electric vehicles, and digital technologies, experts highlighted expanding opportunities and a favorable policy environment driving sustained investor interest.
India's story is intact. People's interest, corporate interest in India is very much alive. In fact, India remains the bright spot. 7% growth, newer areas are opening up. So I think that are the two things that I would take in account as happened.
Showcasing itself as one of the world's largest and most investment-ready clean energy markets at the World Economic Forum, India pitched for 300 to 350 billion USD in investments by 2030. India's central role is driving a clean and inclusive energy transition was underlined by strong participation from 9 states, including first-time attendees Assam and Jharkhand. On the sidelines of Davos, the Maharashtra government signed MOUs worth nearly 330 billion USD, with 83% of the proposals coming through foreign direct investment, deals that together have the potential to generate 3 million jobs.
ये जो इनोवेशन सिटी है और उसके साथ साथ जो डेटा सेंटर वगैरह है, इसके लिए टाटा सन्स ने $11 बिलियन का कमिटमेंट आज अनाउंस किया है और हमारी इस अनाउंसमेंट के बाद बहुत बड़े पैमाने पर अब जो अंतर्राष्ट्रीय निवेशक है उनमें इस सिटी में आने के लिए बातचीत शुरू हुई है। तो मुझे लगता है कि देश की पहली इनोवेशन सिटी ये मुंबई के पास हम लोग बनाने जा रहे हैं।
From reforms and resilient growth to clean energy leadership and digital ambition, India's strong showing at Davos reinforced its rise as a global growth engine. Backed by policy stability and investor trust, India is positioning itself as a long-term partner in shaping the world's economic future. Tokyo kicked off the New Year's Fire Review, showcasing its latest firefighting technology, facilities, and disaster prevention drills. Nearly 2,910 personnel and over 100 vehicles operated on land, sea, and air. Governor Yuriko Koike stressed safety as the foundation of Tokyo's growth, while officials unveiled drones and robots for high-risk rescues, urging citizens to embrace self-help, cooperation, and preparedness for future disasters across communities and generations ahead together with confidence today. New Year's Fire Review of Tokyo was held to show latest firefighting facility and activity. It aims to make citizens relief and accelerate awareness of disaster prevention. 2,910 fire extinguished staff and more than 100 firefighting vehicles on the ground and sea, also above sky.
皆様、明けましておめでとうございます。江戸町火消しの誕生以来、300年余りもの歴史と伝統を受け継ぐ東京消防出初め式の開催を嬉しく思います。安全安心こそ経済活動や人の活躍の土台であり、東京が大きな飛躍を遂げるために不可欠な基盤であります。そして都市の強靭化を進める上では、過去の経験を生かすことが欠かせません。発生から15年が経過しようとしている東日本大震災の教訓、自助と共助の重要性を改めて認識し、今日お集まりの皆様におかれましても、自助、共助、公助の三位一体でできる限りの備えを講じていただきますようお願いいたします。100年先も安心な都市を実現し、東京の未来を輝かせてまいりましょう。
先端技術といたしましては、消火用ドローンの今開発をしているほかですね、倒壊危険のある建物や有毒ガス等による活動のリスクが高い環境下における情報収集というのを目的にしまして、四足歩行のロボットを導入したりですとか、消防活動体制の強化を進めているところでございます。海外向けの対策としまして、東京都の呼びかけで発足した危機管理ネットワーク加盟14都市を対象としまして、毎年1都市を選定しまして、消防救助機動部隊ハイパーレスキューを講師としまして、東京都と相互の都市で研修を行いまして、消防隊員の技術向上に貢献をしております。
Today's progressive performance of fire disaster prevention made Tokyo citizens relieve and strengthen awareness to prepare disaster. This message is not only for Japan but also overseas, including supportive contribution. Now we take a look at some happenings in Asia in a segment called Asia Watch.
In greenhouses and sterile laboratories west of Basra, Iraqi technicians wearing gloves and masks lift tiny date palm shoots from jars, hoping one day to restore orchards laid waste by decades of war, land loss, and creeping water salinity. Date palms, once central to Iraq's agricultural economy, have been ravaged by the upstream damming of the Tigris and Euphrates, declining rainfall, seawater intrusion, and decades of conflict. Iraq's water security has become a pressing issue, as levels in the Euphrates and Tigris have fallen sharply, compounded by upstream dams, mainly in Turkey. Researchers at the facility say producing seedlings is only part of the challenge in Basra, where summer temperatures can exceed 50 degrees Celsius, 122 degrees Fahrenheit, and salt levels in water can surge. Tissue culture palms now represent more than 15% of varieties in Basra's Al Zubair and Safwan areas, said Saleh Hassan, Director of Agriculture in Basra's Al Zubair district.
Spain's Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez met with Lebanese President Joseph Aoun at Madrid's Moncloa Palace. After the meeting, Lebanon's Foreign Minister Youssef Raji signed bilateral agreements with Spain's Foreign Minister José Manuel Albares and Spain's Culture Minister Ernest Urtasun. Spanish government said 3 agreements were signed aimed at strengthening bilateral ties, including collaboration between diplomatic schools, agricultural cooperation and links between the country's national libraries. Regional tensions and cultural cooperation were expected to be addressed during the meeting.
Italy's Leonardo and India's Adani Defence and Aerospace have signed a preliminary agreement to launch a helicopter manufacturing ecosystem in India, the companies said in a joint statement this week. The Memorandum of Understanding concerns Leonardo's AW169M and AW109 Trekker M models in particular, and aims to address the increasing demand and new military requirements in India, though it could potentially be extended to civil aviation applications. Adani Defence and Aerospace's CEO Ashish Rajvanshi said that the Indian Armed Forces project demand for more than 1,000 helicopters in the coming decade. Leonardo's shares were up around 2% at 0900 GMT following the announcement.
For years, the government in Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir has failed to deliver on its promises, leaving people to fend for themselves. As institutions collapse under negligence and inaction, citizens have stepped forward to claim their rights. Filling the widening gap between the state and the public, the Awami Action Committee has emerged as a powerful pressure group, forcing accountability where governance failed. Today, public-led initiatives reflect a clear verdict. People can no longer wait for a system that has repeatedly disappointed them. Your report.
In Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, governance has followed a predictable cycle. Each time those in power fail to deliver on public promises, a vacuum is left behind. That vacuum does not remain empty for long. It turns into a pressure zone where frustration builds, instability grows, and multiple forces attempt to assert influence. This recurring failure of delivery has repeatedly weakened institutions, eroded public trust, and created conditions where political maneuvering thrives instead of meaningful governance, setting the stage for yet another phase of turmoil.
वो हालात के मुताबिक तो ये फिर बैठता है असल में जब जहां के भी डिलीवरेंस में प्रॉब्लम आएगी तो एक सियासी वैक्यूम क्रिएट होगा और जो सियासी वैक्यूम है वह फिर एक अजीब और गरीब तरह का प्रेशर डेवलप करता है जिसके साथ बहुत सारी चीज़ें कनेक्टेड हो जाती हैं। फिर वहाँ पे मुख्तलिफ जो उसके परपेट्रेटर्स हैं उसको फिर उनको मौका मिल जाता है कि उसके ऊपर क्योंकि वो वज़ीर-ए-आज़म या वो चीफ एग्जीक्यूटिव जब डिलीवर नहीं करेगा तो फिर उसको रिप्लेसमेंट भी कोशिश हो जाती है और ये पिछले कुछ अरसे से हम रेगुलर देख रहे हैं ये आज़ाद कश्मीर। अच्छा, इंटरेस्टिंगली सारे अमल में तमाम सियासी पार्टी जिसका हिस्सा रही हैं, बड़ी सियासी पार्टी मुस्लिम कॉन्फ्रेंस उस वक़्त की उसके अंदर भी ये रहा, फिर उसके साथ जब पीपल्स पार्टी है उसके अंदर भी, फिर मुस्लिम लीग नॉन और के साथ और पीटीआई के साथ भी सिस्टम चल रहा है तकरीबन इसी तरह का।
As governance continues to fall short in POJK, pressure groups have been forced to step in to secure even the most basic livelihoods for the people. Through sustained public mobilization, the Awami Action Committee compelled authorities to provide subsidized flour and electricity, eventually forcing intervention from the government of Pakistan. Yet, these gains only underline a deeper crisis. Core sectors such as health and education remain neglected, while merit-based employment for educated youth is still elusive. raising serious questions about development and long-term governance.
ये बात होती है तो जॉइंट एवॉल्विंग एक्शन कमेटी आज के हालात में इतना बड़ा प्रेशर ग्रुप बन के और इतना बड़ा मास मूवमेंट लेके सामने ना आती है। इसका मतलब है कि डिलीवरेंस तो हुई है और लोगों के, लेकिन लोगों की एक्सपेक्टेशंस के मुताबिक नहीं हुई, जिसकी वजह से जो एक रेजोनेंस क्रिएट हुई, जिसके अंदर से दरमियान में जो खलात पैदा हुआ उसको अवामी एक्शन कमेटी ने आके स्पुर किया और वो इस वक्त एक स्ट्रॉन्ग प्रेशर ग्रुप के तौर पे इस वक्त भी फील्ड में मौजूद है। वक्त के साथ भी आने वाले इलेक्शन और आने वाली सियासत में भी वो भी खुल के कह रहे हैं और तमाम सियासी जमातें इसको तस्लीम भी कर रही हैं कि उनका रोल हर हालत में होगा आने वाले इलेक्शन में। लोगों की तवज्जो डेफिनेटली रोजे रोटी पे थी, जिसका मेजर चंक उन्होंने शेयर ले लिया अवामी एक्शन कमेटी के प्रेशर की सच में, मुख्तलिफ नोटिफिकेशन की सच में, और उसमें आगे भी आने वाले वक्त में अब चूंकि आज़ाद कश्मीर की पढ़ी लिखी यूथ है तो डेफिनेटली उनके लिए अपॉर्चुनिटीज देखना होंगे और डेवलपमेंट इटसेल्फ अभी भी एक बहुत बड़ा क्वेश्चन बनता जा रहा है।
Chronic administrative failure in Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir continues to shape daily hardships for ordinary citizens. Weak planning and ineffective governance have left roads, water supply systems, healthcare, and education facilities severely strained. Towns remain overcrowded, traffic unmanaged, and basic civic cleanliness neglected, while rural areas face persistent isolation. Despite repeated assurances, meaningful development remains elusive, widening public discontent and exposing a system unable to convert authority and resources into real improvements for the people.
Nepal's longest and most demanding religious fast has concluded in Bhaktapur, as scores of devotees gathered at Hanuman Ghat to perform the sacred Madhav Narayan rituals. Braving the icy waters of the Hanumante river, worshippers took holy dips and offered prayers after a month of penance and devotion. Observed during the month of Magh, the ritual reflects deep faith, with thousands assembling to seek blessings, protection, and spiritual fulfillment. Have a look.
Standing at the edge of the Hanumante Ghat, Hindu devotees braving knee-deep icy waters performed the ritualistic holy dip, marking the conclusion of the month-long arduous fast of Madhav Narayan. Among the many forms of Lord Vishnu, Madhav Narayan is worshipped during the month of Magh, the 9th month of the lunar calendar. The sacred ritual includes a ceremonial rolling on the ground, observed by dozens of devotees as thousands gather at Bhaktapur's Hanuman Ghat dedicated to Lord Madhav Narayan.
बाटो बस्ने मान्छेले चाहिँ अलि जुत्ता लाउनु हुँदैन, त्यो सबै खानेकुरा त्यो जथाभावी खानु, दोहोरो पाक भए खानु हुँदैन, त्यो पेलेको तोलीको पेल आउने तरकारी खानु हुँदैन त्यति हो।
This month-long arduous fasting ritual begins on Paush Shukla Purnima, the full moon day, and concludes on Magh Shukla Purnima with the completion of the Swasthani Brata Katha. The month-long worship of Lord Madhav Narayan is also observed in Sankhu based on the Swasthani tradition. However, devotees say the experience in Bhaktapur is distinct and markedly different from that in Sankhu.
दैवी प्रकोपहरू आइरहेको देख्दाखेरि यो त कसैको बसमा नभएको कुरो, कसैको कन्ट्रोलमा नभएको कुरो, यो त भगवानले गर्नुभएको भगवानको क्रिया भन्ने कुरो हामीले सम्झिरहेको हुन्छ। त्यही भएर भगवानको शरणमा गयो भने हामीले केही न केही सुरक्षा गर्नुहुन्छ कि भगवानले रक्षा गर्नुहुन्छ कि भने एउटा जनविश्वास।
In the historic city of Bhaktapur, this fasting tradition is mainly practiced by male devotees, while women usually choose to observe their fast along the banks of the Sali Nadi river instead of Hanuman Ghat. The Hanumante river, a key tributary of the Bagmati river, depends largely on rainfall and natural springs for its flow. Over the years, it has served as one of the primary natural water resources in the Bhaktapur district, playing an essential role in sustaining the region's environment, culture, and religious practices.
As we wrap up today's episode of South Asia Today, we thank you for joining us. We'll return next week at the same time with more insights and updates. This is Shivangi Mishra signing off on behalf of our entire team. Until then, stay safe and goodbye.